What up, what up? It's your girl Pico over here in Singapore. It is midnight, so it is supposed to be Sunday night, but it's pretty much Monday morning. It's been a hell of a day, dude. I really enjoyed today. Woke up late, got to make pancakes, kind of hang out at home a little bit, do laundry. And I told you yesterday I was looking forward to it, right? I get to sleep, and I actually slept in. I actually didn't get out of bed till 9, which, I mean, I wish I could have slept in longer, but my teenage years are past me, so I kind of have to get up and do some, like, responsible adult stuff. Not that I enjoy it all the time, but it's got to be done. Um, so yeah, hung out at home and everything. Got to work at about 2 o'clock. Um, we were supposed to have two workshops, but we unfortunately did not have anyone show up. So instead, we did like a coaching session for the last couple workshops that we ran yesterday. So we went back through, the presentation itself, how we deliver to everyone, the things that we should always hit on, make sure that we cover the diagnostic that we want for the kids, like all these little things that we needed to like tie up, loose ends that we needed to tighten up through our process. Finished up with that at about 5 o'clock, got home, and we were so tired and so hungry. I think just from the last couple of days, we've been like running a lot. Me and the kid have been running a lot since Friday when we went to her orientation, and it's been like nonstop until today, basically. So when we got to the train station by our house, we were just like, you know what, let's just go through the mall, get some food, and then come home. Because even though I have food in the house, I felt so lazy. I didn't even feel like, portioning out food and warming it up and then feeding each other. So I just picked up food on the way. Got back home, and we ended up watching The Good Doctor. Like, we started watching that yesterday, and we really enjoyed it. We got 2 episodes down yesterday. We got another 2 episodes down today, and I really, really enjoy the series. I don't know if you've actually heard of it, but gosh, I can't think of the young man's name, but I think I mentioned him yesterday. Very, very interesting character. He is an amazing talent because he's able to portray this young man very well. So this young man is an autistic surgical resident who happens to have savant syndrome as well. So the way he sees the world is absolutely beautiful. Like, I can't even explain it. The way he consumes information and understands what he's looking at, man, I wish. I wonder what I could accomplish if I could do that. But even then, with what limited brain capacity I have, I think I'm doing pretty well. I think I'm hitting it out of the park so far. It's not like I've done this entrepreneur thing before. I'm kind of just winging it. And actually, every time I say that now, it takes on a different meaning. I used to say wing it and just know, obviously it means that you try and figure it out on the way. But I saw a quote the other day, and something like, angels are always winging it. They basically jump first and build their wings on the way down. And that's kind of how I feel like at the moment. I could crash and burn at any moment, probably, but the momentum I have going is giving me enough space to start building the wings on the way down. So it's kind of exciting, actually. I'm enjoying the process. I'm learning a lot, and I'm finding that as I go along, there are certain people in my life that seem to drop off my radar. They kind of fall away to the wayside because I've outgrown them. Everyone serves a purpose. I mean, hopefully I can serve you until you no longer need me. It's almost like, Nanny McPhee. When you don't want me but need me, I will be there. But when you want me but no longer need me, then I have to go. So I'm kind of in a phase right now where I'm still learning. I'm trying to, up my game a little bit, level up, and get more content, and get more of a qualification, so to speak, because I want to make sure that, I provide the best possible advice, give the best possible reasoning, all of these things to make sure that I don't lead you astray. That's the last thing I want as a counselor, as a friend, as a mentor, as a coach. I don't want to lead you astray, and obviously I can't talk about anything that I don't know about firsthand. So in my limited experience, because it is limited, there's so much to the human experience. I've only lived 30 years in my little corner of the world, wherever that corner happened to be at the time. So I can't speak for more than that, but I do know from experience that you tend to outgrow people. I need you to understand that that's a natural part of life. You will probably fight to cling on and hold on to some people. You will fight to let people let you go, basically. It goes both ways. So you outgrow people, people outgrow you. And either one is okay as long as you leave amicably. That's the hardest part, to try and make sure that you don't, burn a bridge if you can help it before you move on. A lot of times you will outgrow people mostly because you're on your own journey or whatever, and they don't seem to understand or want to try and understand where you're coming from or where you're going. But eventually, sometimes those people do come back because they suddenly see the light themselves and they realize, you know what? Okay, you had a point. So they will come back. So that's what I'm saying. Try not to burn any bridges. You never know who these people are. You never know what you might need. They might need you. You never know. Just do your best. Sometimes it's unavoidable, obviously, but do your best. But in the meantime, don't get panicky when you find that you have to let go of somebody. You have to like walk on and move on from wherever they are in life. Obviously, it's not easy. It's not fun, and some of these people may even be a close part of your circle. They may be relatives. They may be siblings. You just never know. But understand that ultimately, you need to take care of you. No one else is going to do that for you. You are your own fairy godmother. You need to pick yourself up and dust yourself off and help you get to where you need to be. Now, I'm not saying be selfish. I'm not saying step on everybody around you in order to get what you want. I'm saying be smart, take care of you, make sure you give yourself enough time to grow, enough rest to be healthy and strong enough to take care of whatever it is you need to take care of, because for the most part, people live for the weekends. They're still out there going out and partying, drinking all hours of the night. Some people are drinking on the weekdays, you know what I mean? Like they're waiting for 5 o'clock so they can go out and get a drink and keep going on. It's not always part of our design for whatever it is we've decided we need in our lives. Like Stephen Covey says, once you begin with the end in mind, you know exactly what you need to do to get to where you need to be. I think we've talked about this in a different podcast before, where if you choose that you need to, if you decide you need to get to the second door on the right and that is your end goal, no matter what happens between here and that second door on the right, you're going to make sure you get to that second door on the right. Now, if you say, I want to get over there, and there is a very vague concept, if things like show up, like a chair in your way or whatever, you're going to like sidestep, and you may actually even change your destination. It'd be over there, but it might not be that same area, be another over there. You know what I mean? So it's not specific. You need to be specific about what you want and where you want to go. And once you do that, you find that you have to level up. You find that you have to leave some people behind. You have to let go or be dragged, basically. Not a fun concept. I've been through it enough times to know. But for the most part, everything works out in the end. For the most part, you get to where you need to be. You have to take care of you. It's not a concept I enjoy by any means. It's not something that I enjoy telling people that, you know what, you've outgrown that person. You no longer need that person. He's keeping you back. She's holding you hostage. She's not letting you move forward. She's trapping you. She's whatever. It could be anything. It could be emotional blackmail. It could be just the fact that no one wants to see you surpass where they are because they're comfortable. They don't want you to be ahead of them. And I mean, obviously we need to take risks. We all sound crazy to those people who are comfortable with like, mediocre life. But if we don't take those risks, we're not happy with our lives. Does that make sense? If I don't step out from the crowd, I'm not going to be happy. I'm going to be miserable. So I'm going to go do what I need to do. I'm going to go step out. I'm going to change directions. I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to jam-pack my schedule with as much as I can. I mean, let me tell you this, okay? It is midnight right now. I am finishing up my podcast here in a little bit. The plan is to get one lecture in from my Robbins Madonna's training. And then I have a conference call at 1 o'clock. No, I'm sorry. I have a conference call at 2 o'clock. And then I have another conference call, like a live guest spot at 3 in the morning. And lucky for me, I'm off tomorrow. But I'm telling you, in order for me to get to where I want to be, these are the kinds of sacrifices I need to make. Or I'm not going to get to where I want to be. I mean, I may, but it may be 10 years down the road. And I'm not trying to waste that kind of time. I'm not no spring chicken no more. I'm getting older. And I'm not saying I'm super old either, but suddenly my time is precious. Suddenly I realize exactly how fast the time is going by because I'm watching my child grow up. Let me tell you this, all right? Orientation on Friday was super difficult. It was very emotional for me. I wish I had a husband with me. I wish I had someone with me that I could look over at them and look over at my baby girl walking across, the gym floor to where her class is meeting up And I could look at, this person and be like, wow, do you see that? Do you remember when she was this small? Do you remember this? Like that's the kind of stuff I want. But obviously, I outgrew my husband. Obviously, I outgrew that town. I outgrew a lot of things all at the same time. And I came to a place where, yes, I'm by myself. Yes, I had tears in my eyes thinking about the fact that, you know what? It wasn't even 4 years ago. This side of 4 years ago, she was 2 years old. I was still changing diapers. She was still in onesies. And here she is getting ready to be 7 next year in primary 1 in an education system in a part of the world where excellence is everything. And I mean everyone in her cohort or her class is going to be up to their earlobes in tuition trying to be the best of the best of the best of the best. It's like it's not a simple competition here in Singapore. It's like chaos and craziness when it comes to school and education and their standards and the grades they're expected to make. It's damn near insane. But yeah, she's about to walk into that, and I'm about to hold hands with her for the rest of her life, her school career, to make sure she gets everything she needs in order to live a happy, easeful, peaceful, useful life. And my first reaction when I saw her that day in that setting was, man, I wish somebody was with me. I wish I could share this with somebody. And I don't have anyone. It's all good though. I wiped that tear and kept on going. So it was all good. But like I said, I outgrew people. It wasn't my intention to outgrow them. I had every intention of having him grow with me. That was the whole plan. We were supposed to grow together. But he was happy complaining, and he was happy with the drama. He was used to it. He was comfortable with it, and I couldn't live with it anymore. I just couldn't. So here I am, in the middle of the night, every night almost, talking to people who have no names, no faces at the moment, and trying to explain what life is like, to build a business, to have a 9 to 5, to be by yourself. And sometimes I feel really stupid, and sometimes I feel fulfilled at the end of the podcast, at the end of the show. So as much as I'm trying to show you how I'm doing it and give you some encouragement and give you some insight, this is also therapy for me. I get this off my chest. And if you've been, starting to follow along in the mornings, the lives, being grateful on camera in front of the entire universe, whoever's watching basically, right before I brush my teeth in the morning, there isn't a stitch of makeup on my face. Most times I haven't even washed my face, but that's the point. I don't want to wash my face. I don't want to be prepped and, camera ready. I want you to see who I am. Freckles, pockmarks, dark circles, all of that. I know it's not pretty, and I apologize if you're offended, but I really could give a shit. But this is how I wake up every morning. This is how I feel every morning, and I really feel like this is a habit I need to develop a little bit more as well. And a lot of people will not agree with me, and those are the people I've outgrown as well. Because I'm trying to be the best that I can be every day. I'm trying to push it to the limit every day. I'm trying to cram as much as I can into every day. And yeah, there's sometimes where I get home and I'm like, I just want to sleep for an entire week. Don't nobody talk to me. But I don't have that luxury. And that's okay. I made my peace with that a long time ago. And yeah, I might complain about it every now and again. But you know what? I'm still going to keep on going. I'm not going to stop for nobody. You can't make me. Alright, you guys, I'm going to wrap it up here in a second, but I really do appreciate your time. If you haven't already noticed, I do have a YouTube channel. I'm converting all of my podcast episodes onto YouTube right now. They are still audio, and hopefully the new year will bring, something else that I can bring to the table, and maybe like a show of my own somehow. I need to learn a lot first because I don't know the first thing about Adobe Photoshop or nothing else, so it's going to be a hell of a ride, but if you're game, come on with me. Come walk with me. Come talk with me. So, if you get a chance, just search RASATH1 on YouTube because there isn't a specific URL that I could, say online for you to be able to follow. It's easier for you to just search for me and find it. It's called the Night Owl Playlist, and every one of these episodes will be on there. Eventually, I'm dropping 3 a day at the moment. I'm a little behind, but I'm dropping them as I go along, and hopefully by the end of the year, I will be caught up with the current podcast. whatever that is by the end of the year. It should be like 160 something by then. Yeah, can you imagine? Anyway, thank you so much for every one of you who come back and listen to the replays. I really, really do appreciate it. I do hope you find some value in these episodes. And please write to me. I would love to know what you're thinking, how you feel about it, because it does mean everything to me. It does mean that, that I'm doing the right thing. I'm going in the right direction. That I am of some kind of help to all of you. All right. So I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Off day, so I get to cram in a lot of little, details, lots of, around the house tasks, cooking, cleaning, studying, all of that. So I love you guys. Y'all take care, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye.